What is up, Snarf Gang? It's your boy, Big Snarf. And I just finished reading The Joker by James Tynion IV, Compendium. It's not super long. It only took me a couple days to finish. I've just been reading it in the morning. But before you get The Joker Compendium, know what you're getting into, because Joker's not even the main character, which I thought was a choice that actually ended up working, but the title's false advertisement. Like, the story is about Joker in a way, but not even that much, to be honest. I'd say it's like 30% about Joker. The main character isn't even Batman either. It's Jim Gordon, of all people, the police commissioner, which I'm looking back at the Batman Omnibus Volume 2 by Scott Snyder, and Jim Gordon was really prevalent in it too. I mean, what's with all these writers taking a liking to Jim Gordon? Like, do they just want to write gritty detective comics? Like, you could do that without making Jim Gordon the main character, but it worked. He was a really interesting main character. The plot of this, minor spoilers, is Jim Gordon basically gets hired to hunt and kill the Joker. And he's like on the other side of the world, so Batman's too caught up and busy to do it. So that's basically what happens, is he's hunting the Joker. But it's from Gordon's perspective. When the Joker is there, it's because Gordon found him, or it's like very few and far in between like scenes setting up things, but it's mainly just when Gordon encounters him that Joker's actually on screen. And there is major spoilers now, so just skip past this part to the art and writing rating if you want to see, but the Joker never gets killed, okay? And Gordon and multiple other characters that wanted to kill Joker all had the opportunity to kill him, but they just start monologuing at him instead. And that annoys me, bro. It annoys me so much. Because, like, this might be the first series where Vengeance, Bane's daughter, is a thing. I don't really remember if it's the first one, but she was created in this. I don't know if it was a retelling or anything, because you know how comic books are, but basically she was programmed to kill Joker. The whole thing that sets this off is some sort of gas, like, bomb goes off in Arkham Asylum, and it kills everyone in there, I'm pretty sure, or a bunch of people, and it pisses off a lot of groups that have ties to people within the asylum, and now they're all after Joker, including the person that hired Gordon, and we don't even know what their intentions are. But that includes Bane's daughter, and at one point, since, like, Enemy of the Enemy is my friend, you know, her and Gordon team up, and she talks about, like, what she's going to do to Joker when she finally catches him. And let me tell you, this is a really well thought out torture plan. Mad respect. But she was like, I'm going to tie him up, and first I'm going to rip his tongue out, because that's his worst weapon. You know, the Joker's, like, manipulation and trash talk is always what he does the best. And then she's like, then I'm going to, like, rip his fingernails off and pour salt in him, rip all of his teeth out, like, beat him within an inch of his life over, like, the course of a week or something, and then bury him to make sure he's actually dead, stay there for a few days, and then after that, dig him back up, then cremate him, and then just have him blow in the wind in a random spot, just so his death would be so insignificant that nobody would ever even find out about it. And I was like, that's a pretty nice plan. But then, when she finally gets a hold of Joker, she punches him once and then starts monologuing at him about why she's going to kill him and why it's, like, important. And then she doesn't even end up getting to do it because Bane stops her, and spoiler. Like I said, this part's major spoilers. If you didn't skip past this, then that's on you. But it's dumb that, okay, don't get me wrong. I get that there needs to be tension in the story from people wanting to kill Joker and getting close. And I know that Joker is the most popular Batman villain and probably the most popular DC villain, let's be real. And they don't want to kill him off canonically. But you can still make the story interesting without blueballing me with a conclusion I know is obviously not going to happen. Like, they tease Joker's death 3 or 4 times throughout this entire thing. And it's so stupid, bro. Because the reason that Joker doesn't die in all those situations is like total bullshit. It's totally stupid. Like 2 times, Gordon literally has him at gunpoint. And he's like, oh, I'm thinking about it. I might do it. I'm definitely going to do it. But I might not. But I might. I'm really thinking about it right now. And he literally sits there thinking about it for long enough for Joker to find a way to get out of it every single time. And I'm like, bro, you want him dead, don't you? Why did you accept the job? Whatever. But another thing is, whenever he was caught by this family of cannibals, Joker was, and he was trapped in a cage and they were about to cook him and eat him alive, it just cuts to him, like, the cage just being open at some point. And that's before Bane's daughter gets a hold of him. And I'm just like, how did he even open that cage? You know what I mean? Because, like, that's happened off screen. So, don't get me wrong, though. I still really enjoyed this. The art was fire all the way through. There are a lot of different artists on this book. So let me show you. Art style is pretty consistent all the way through, but there are some different art styles, as you can see. Just flip through a little bit more for you. The cover gallery at the end is pretty nice too. Like, there's some cool covers. I can show you a couple of them in a second. I'm only going to show you a couple covers though. See? There's some cool covers in there. So art-wise, I'd give this a 9 out of 10. It was really good. The art was good. I never disliked it, to be honest. Well, yes, there was one thing that I didn't like that much, and I don't like when Joker has like a really long, pointy jaw and he opens his mouth a bunch and he looks weird, okay? Like, I know Joker's supposed to have a long, slender face, and I like that, but sometimes the way it's drawn just looks weird to me. But it didn't look that weird. It's just why it's not a 10 out of 10. I just think it looks weird in general. But the writing, I was going to give it a 9 out of 10 initially while I was reading it, because I was thinking about the rating I was going to give it while I was reading it. But the fact that Joker, they blue-balled us, you know what? I'm not even going to say it because I told you to skip to this part to avoid the spoilers. But I'm going to give it a 7 for the reasons I stated earlier that I didn't like about it. But no, I'll give it an 8 because it was really entertaining the whole way through. Like, Jim Gordon going through all the mysteries and stuff and all the different groups involved that wanted Joker dead. Like, that was a really interesting. There was not very many parts of the book that felt dry. Like, there weren't, like, dry parts of the book, but there were parts of the book that were slower, but they weren't very long, slow parts. You know, they kind of got over with. They just exposition and then they get on to the action. Like, there's a lot of action in this. The plot moves along quickly. You won't be bored for very long reading this if you're very interested in the premise and mystery, which you could potentially not be if you didn't know that Jim Gordon was the main character going into it, considering it's literally called The Joker. But I'm sure if they called Batman Year One 50% Jim Gordon, 50% Batman, nobody would read it. Or if they called this 100% Jim Gordon, 30% Joker sometimes, then nobody would have read it because Jim Gordon isn't that interesting of a character on his own. And one of the main reasons that he was entertaining in this book was because of all the other characters involved that he played off of, you know. But yeah, that's my review of the Joker Compendium by James Tynion IV. So let me know what you thought. Peace!